Hello once again, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, and today, what's in the box? That's what we're doing today. What's in the box? But this is a very special box. Why is this a special box? Well, I'll tell you why this is a special box. Because, well, it starts with a little bit of a story, okay? So, those who know me, those who have been around the channel, have seen the channel, have seen the Star Wars collection. They've seen the Star Wars collection that I've acquired over 40 plus years in all these different rooms and shelves and display cases, in rafters, anywhere I could store them. Well, this has basically been in the lower level of our house, okay, which is a kind of a partially finished basement, okay, which is kind of where most Star Wars collections find themselves, right? But over the years, every so often, little things come up here and there, and they find themselves kind of upstairs in other areas, like in the living room, in the dining room, on this shelf, in this little corner, over here, over there. And that's something that I've been doing over the years. I have a wonderful, understanding, and supportive wife, Mrs. Darth Tuba, or Rogue Porg Fan on Twitter, and she has been really cool with having stuff kind of displayed everywhere. But we have been doing some cleaning up, we've been doing some straightening, and some rearranging of furniture, and I, believe it or not, have made the decision that maybe it's time to move some of these things into the Star Wars collecting display area proper. So I gathered everything up in a box, and I realized that a lot of this, not all of it, but a lot of it has not been featured on the channel. So I thought, well, maybe kind of make this kind of a semi-shelf talk, and as I try to find a location in the Star Wars room for these items, I thought it would be nice to kind of share them with you now. So that is what we are going to do. All right. Now, before we look at what's in the box, I do want to let you know that I went on a bit of a hunt this week. I have in my local establishment, I have in where I live a Walmart that is a full supermarket Walmart, and they have a very, 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 very tiny section that is devoted to Star Wars toys. So and it's never been big, guys. Even when it didn't matter if The Force Awakens came out, no, it was maybe this big. Okay, Last Jedi, this big. Rise of Skywalker, this big. Now, this big. So, but it's still there. And I took a look, and every now and then I show up there, and lo and behold, we had some action figures. Yes, the retro Star Wars retro. I'm not going to do any close-ups to today's episodes. I'm just going to physically do it. There's Star Wars retro Empire Strikes Back Han Solo in Hoth gear. So cool. Yes, you can see the distressed look on the card. Some people hate it. I don't really care. I think it's kind of nice. So there you go. All right, so there was one. Not the only one there. No. There were more. We have the Hoth Leia. All right, with her cool Hoth fatigues. Again, the retro. This retro sticker, I'm sure you've seen on other episodes, is actually something you can actually peel off. I wouldn't recommend it unless you do certain, you can look on sites for different ways that you can peel it off. And Luke in his Bespin fatigues. So cool. Okay. A lot of people have different, very strong opinions about whether or not they should be doing retro action figures. I believe that the card is different looking enough with the distressed look on the front and back. The back is different. The figure itself has a different, printing on the side or the leg. So to me, it's totally good. Now, I'm pretty sure I showed this already, but a few weeks ago, like two or 3 weeks ago, I found Lando, and I do believe I showed Lando in a previous episode. So I am on my way to collecting all the retro figures from Walmart. There are a couple, of course. The ever challenging and mystical Boba Fett figure, which is always a challenge to track down, it seems. So that's okay, though. All right, so now we can talk about what's in the box. Okay, like I said, this is a hodgepodge, man. I feel like a lot of my shows are hodgepodge, but that's okay. So what do we got here first? This is, I never got these up. These are lightsaber wall hooks. Okay, if you look on the back here, you can see that you kind of put them up against the wall, and you can hang your coats, or your jackets, or your hats, or anything like that. I think this was given to me as a gift, and I have yet to get them to be installed anywhere. So I will probably work on doing that someplace around here, probably on one of the doorways. Maybe I can hang one of my Jedi robes on it or something. So that'll be kind of cool. So that I'm going to have to kind of make a pile right here. I'm going to move Yoda. Yoda, I'm going to put you back over here. There we go. All right. What else we got? I think I've done this on a previous episode. We have our Dio, and I don't know if he does spin. I don't know if he can. Where do I put him? Well, he spins. Kind of moves around. Let's see if I can get him over here so you can see him. Come on. There he goes. Hey there, buddy. So he's kind of just been sitting on my coffee table. The interesting thing is that that's not the way he sounds. It actually sounds suspiciously like J.J. Abrams. Hello. No, thank you. Like that. I also have here, we got the ever popular ornament that came from Galaxy's Edge. I do believe this was also featured on a previous episode. I'm a little nervous about putting this on a tree because it is really, really heavy. So I might just kind of put it on display somewhere around here just to kind of give it a... It's not really holiday-themed-esque. It just happens to be, with the little dangling piece of leather there. Okay, something I'm real excited about. This is let me get it a little... This is a prop replica of the Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi lightsaber. Now, I will tell you, this is actually a stunt replica. Okay, and a stunt replica, just to give you an idea, is actually a little bit less detailed. It is a little bit more solid, and it definitely is not meant to be seen in any close-ups. So if you were to remember the scene in Return of the Jedi where you see Vader examining the lightsaber, that prop, that would have been considered the hero prop. Okay, and I've learned this recently, that the hero prop is the one that's got all of the fine detail and close-up. And the stunt prop is that basically what you'd see somebody running with, or if they had it clipped to their belt and they were running from a distance, and you would see that. So now, why do I have the stunt prop? It's not the actual stunt prop, but they were, a company was releasing this. I can't remember which, but yeah, precision cast replica, Luke Skywalker stunt lightsaber. I basically wanted to have a prop replica, but the stunt replicas were a lot cheaper to purchase than the hero replicas. So there you go. Comes with a nice little stand and works out. I think I might actually just leave this kind of here in the front as kind of part of the Darth Tuba display. So we'll leave it there for now. All right, what else we got? All right, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see a theme here. Okay, we have Advance, Captain Phasma, Stein, yes. But it is a plastic Stein drink holder or drink. You can open it up and put like a cup in here, or just fill it with a drink and sip it. I believe this came from the Hollywood Studios as one of the giveaways when we went to the Galactic Dessert Party. Something that is one of my favorite things to do in Disney property is the Galactic Dessert Party, and I do look forward to a day, I can't say when, but I know that hopefully that will return. It is not going to happen anytime soon, folks. We are still in a pandemic, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Wear your masks, okay? I understand there are some people that are on the fence of like, guys, we got to open everything up and get back to normal. And there are other people on the other side that say, guys, we are still in a pandemic. You should be locked down in your homes and stay there until further notice. And that's the only way this is going to go away. Personally, I kind of find myself walking down the middle of the road, which I tend to do on a lot of things, which essentially is there's no way that many people can survive at all if they don't open up at least in some capacity. And I believe in doing this in very small steps, very baby steps, and I see that the theme parks are doing that with a lot of distancing, a lot of limited capacity, and I think, you know what? That's really a necessity. There are thousands of people that need to work, and the states and the governments cannot fund unemployment forever and ever and ever to this magnitude. It just can't happen. So I do believe in that. It's not really something up for discussion, but I'm just putting it out there. So I do look forward to a day when the parks can open back to normal. We're not there. Even when they open next month, it isn't going to be like normal. So just be aware of that. So walking down memory lane, you got your Captain Phasma mug. That's really awesome. There's a lot more things like that, but I got to kind of work from the top of the pile and work my way down. We've got this Yoda appearing kind of a plush. The thing is, folks, it's really heavy. It's a super heavy beanbag. Now, why would we have something like that? Easy. It is a bookcase, bookend. Okay, it's a fancy bookend. I do believe this might have been. I believe this was a Hallmark exclusive. And you know what's better than one of these? Well, of course, I can tell you that. What is better than one? Two of them. Yes. So you can see is a kind of a cute little plush. And yes, they are extremely heavy, so they tend to be able to hold the weight of books leaning up against it. All right, but I just decided that my books are all kind of in a thin bookcase, and they're all kind of filled. I don't really need these anymore up there, so I have a bookcase down here. They will find a home in there. Okay, what else do we got here? All right. I think I've shown this in previous episodes from Star Wars Celebration 2017. We have a kind of a miniaturized version of the Medal of Yavin. It's to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, the A New Hope's release, and it has a little clip on it so you can put your badges. Okay, so a really cool thing. I have kind of a lanyard collection down here. I will add it to that. So there you go. I believe another Hallmark thing. A Darth Vader skeleton kind of Halloween-esque mug. You can look closely at the skull. You can see the look to it that shows it to be a kind of scary, like the Vader wasn't scary enough. Let's put a skeleton on him. All right, beautiful. Okay, yeah, where are we going from here? Oh, let's go here. I'm going to take this out and this out and this. Oh, and this. So I've mentioned this in the past, and again, these are things that I've probably had on the episode before, but I am one to find and appreciate the odder things that you run into when you're collecting. And sure enough, this was something that was available at Star Wars Celebration. It is, in fact, well, before I show it, I might as well show this piece here. This is a tablecloth. Not tablecloth, like a placemat. And what's it a placemat for? Well, obviously you got Admiral Ackbar saying, "It's a wrap!" And you see what he's holding. It is essentially a Star Wars themed sushi set. It includes a saucer or dish that has several aliens on it. You've got your, I'll give you the old school names. You've got Admiral Ackbar, you've got the Squid Head, and you got the Hammerhead. Okay, I have to be careful putting this here because I have a feeling it's going to cause an issue. We've got our bowl with the same characters on it. There you go. This was again something you can get at Star Wars Celebration. Be careful, don't fall. Comes with a little spice or wasabi tray that you can put here. And what is a sushi set without really nice chopsticks? So I thought this was just a really cool thing, and I decided to get it. It was also on sale because nobody really wanted it, or not as many people wanted it. So I just thought that was kind of nice. So unfortunately, it is a little bit bulky with this mat, but I have a few places I can put it, and I will probably do that. All right, it's going to be a little work here cleaning everything up today. All right, box is getting empty. Let's keep going. Now, pretty much everything else, or almost everything else you'll find, has a theme. Okay, you have a BB-8 sipper cup. Okay, to be found in a certain location. Yes, I'm in Walt Disney World. Okay, and we have what have we here? We have Lando, but we have young Lando with the really cool shirt. And again, a little reminder: the design on Lando's shirt at the last scene of the movie Solo: A Star Wars Story is actually designed, includes I believe the concept art to the sail barge, which you could find on the from Ralph McQuarrie. So I thought that was a really cool little nod. All right, now we have these babies. These are, I guess you could say these are beer glasses, and you can look closely, and it says Mos Eisley Cantina, Tatooine. These were part of a huge set of glassware that you could purchase at Tatooine Traders outside of Star Tours roughly about 15 years ago or more, okay? Well before Galaxy's Edge, well before there was anything of that nature, even close to what we have now. They did have some interesting collectible ideas, and that I decided to just get a set of 2 of these beer glasses. They had shot glasses and champagne glasses and martini glasses. They had all kinds of glasses. But I just like the look of them. I love the design of the Tatooine image on the front. So I thought that was a nice little nod. All right. Now, I think I've shown this, but if I haven't shown this, this is an unlicensed item. Okay, just to give you a little background here, many moons ago, I used to travel with the high school marching band and orchestra that I teach, and we still travel, but we mainly travel to Disney down in Florida or California, but we travel to Europe, and every time we were in Europe, I would try to find one Star Wars item. I didn't care what it was, because the first time we traveled to Europe, and with me being a teacher, was in 1999. It was the spring of 99, just a few months before Episode 1 came out. So I remember then we found, back then it was hardly anything out at that point, but we found they had like a lollipop, not a lollipop, an ice lolly they called it, but it was basically like a frozen treat that you could get at a store, like at a convenience store. And it looked like it was like a two popsicle stick one, like a fruit pop, and it was 2 battle droids. They kind of melded together. So that was, and I ate the lollipop, but I kept the sticks and I kept the wrapper. So that's somewhere, I can't remember where, but it's somewhere. So every time I would go up, but from beyond that, it would be something everywhere. By then, Star Wars was back in the public psyche, and everybody was there, and you could find toys and you could find collectibles and stuff that was only available in Europe. It was great. On the last trip we did, which is to Prague, and I think it was 2013, I ran into a store that was nothing but Russian nesting dolls. Russian nesting dolls. Here's one. This is Queen Amidala. Uh-oh. Gotta be actually... Ooh. Okay. There we go. And then you got Qui-Gon. And then you open it up, and then there's Yoda, Episode 1 Yoda. Open it up again, and there's C-3PO, and then a little tiny Darth Vader, which is a weird thing. They had him for everything. They had him for every story, every pop culture reference you can imagine. They had a set of national. Obviously, unlicensed, not something that you're supposed to be doing. But frankly, Lucasfilm did come out with their version of Russian nesting dolls, but there were only 3. I prefer 5 or more, so I appreciated getting that. And it was a, kind of a weird and unusual, so that's the kind of stuff I like to collect sometimes. All right, moving on, we have now, this is interesting. It says Solo on the back here. I'll show you closely, right? Solo. Okay, and it is... They called it a mud trooper, but I do believe it's a popcorn bucket. Okay, and yes, when I bought it, they did have popcorn in it. But I seem to remember that this is a very similar looking helmet to some ones you saw in Rogue One. So I don't know if they had them for Rogue One and then they just slapped a new label on the back or new printing on the back and used them again for Solo in a couple of years. Who knows? But I can tell you that it's a unique collectible that I just enjoy. I enjoy getting those. All right, almost done, guys. Thank you for your patience. We got our, if you see, to kind of go along with our plastic Stein of Captain Phasma, we got our Chewie one, which apparently is broken. That is very strange, but okay. I just have to remember that when I open that it could end up finding itself popping off like that. But again, these were little tchotchkes that you could get. Again, in the Disney parks, a lot of these come from Disney. Okay, the popcorn buckets and the sipper cup, and here's the. Well, I'll save this one for last. Okay. All right, we have. Okay, I thought that this, and I think I've done this in a previous episode, but I thought that this was a very clever idea, and it came out in the most recent Star Wars Celebration. Star Wars Celebration, may it rest in peace. Not going to be running this year. Understandable why. Feel bad for those that were planning on going. Always looking forward. I wasn't planning on this one, but that might mean I may have an opportunity to attend the next one. So we'll see what happens. But I always enjoyed watching the Star Wars shows, coverage of it. So sadly, that's not going to happen. But I do hear talk of people putting together a virtual one, which I think is cool. I might want to get involved with, so we'll see. Darth Maul. Ceramic Darth Maul. Salt and pepper shaker, Darth Maul. Okay, salt and pepper shaker, but you think, well, where's the other part? No. This is Darth Maul Episode 1 Darth Maul, which, how did he meet his end? Boom! Salt, pepper. Boom. Clever idea. Awesome. Thank you, Lucasfilm or whomever. Not a Star Wars thing, but a close cousin. This is another Disney item, but not from the parks. No. From Disney Springs. And where in Disney Springs? Jacques Lindsay's Hangar Bar. Who's Jacques Lindsay, you might ask? If you've ever seen a little movie called Raiders of the Lost Ark, which in many people's minds is a close cousin of the Star Wars movies, the Indiana Jones films. Raiders of the Lost Ark, in the beginning of that movie, you see Indiana Jones running from the Jovitos, and his ride, who's an airplane pilot, was named Jacques Lindsay. And he was sitting there with one of those, seaplanes, trying to fish, and he had to take, the plane took off, and he just swung into the water, swam it, got in the thing, had the snake in his lap. Oh, it's my pet snake, Reggie. Well, apparently the story goes that Jacques Lindsay eventually opened up a hangar bar in Disney Springs, okay? And all of the drinks and all of the theming were very, very subtle references to Indiana Jones and a lot of the characters and people that he runs into. And this was from an actual drink that I purchased, which was kind of a throwback to the chilled monkey brains, which they had in the second movie, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. So it was a really good drink, but I did get to keep like a lot of drinks now, you can purchase the mug with it. So that's what I did. And there you have it. So I've decided this is going to stay in the collection. It's just going to find a home in the Star Wars collection. And last but not least, this has been a longer episode, but that's okay. We've got the popcorn bucket that is meant to look like Han Solo and Carbonite. Look at this. Look how cool this is, right? It's amazing. And you can open it up, and honestly, you can use it for other things to hold stuff in, whatever, but, it's just, what a cool idea for a popcorn bucket. I love it. I think it's great, and I am happy to be able to have it. I do feel, in some ways, except I'm having trouble closing the thing. There we go. I do feel, in some ways, that I do not have the latest popcorn bucket was an AT-AT popcorn bucket, and I never got it. And I don't think they're selling them anymore. I'm kicking myself for that, but what are you going to do? So maybe if anybody sees one of those and knows where I can get one, let me know, and I'll see if I can track it down. Because that's about the only other, people sometimes get all, popcorn buckets are a big deal in Disney parks. I mean, people will go to the parks, pre-COVID, people will go to the parks and would desperately wait in line when there was going to be a new popcorn bucket, and they would wait in line for that popcorn bucket. And sometimes people would buy 50 of them and try to sell a bunch of them on eBay, which kind of shady. But inevitably, Disney would make enough popcorn buckets that eventually anybody could get them if you wanted them. If you were traveling to, sometimes if there was some that were more related to Christmas or Halloween or other holidays, that might be a challenge. But if it was a basic thing like a Star Wars one, you could probably get it there at some point. So, I've picked up a few of them over the years. I didn't really collect too many of the non-Star Wars ones. I did have a couple, but I ended up selling them in yard sales and stuff like that because I don't have as much of a connection to Disney and a collectible as I do Star Wars. So we'll see. And even that, some of the Star Wars stuff, we've parted ways. But most of it will find a home somewhere in the collection. And I know I've walked through a lot of these in previous episodes, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. We started gathering all this stuff in the box, and I just wanted to share that with you now. So that'll do it for this week's episode of Star Wars. I always say that. That'll do it for this episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. Like, subscribe, hit the notification. Welcome to our new subscribers, and continue to subscribe. Spread the word. Let other people know about it. I am really excited to, to interact with as many people that are interested. Leave comments. Please make them good. Make them good comments and make them clean comments, because they will be deleted if they're not that. All right. This is a positive, family-friendly channel, and we look forward to lots of interaction with people in any way you feel comfortable. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. And we will be back very soon. We drop episodes on Sundays and Wednesdays. Looking forward to getting out the next one. We got a few more things some new stuff to unbox, some new things coming in the mail, some old favorites that we want to unbox, and actually we have a kind of a special episode that we're going to do talking about our merch, the merchandise that we have, because even if you are not someone, if you're not, it doesn't matter if you're a Star Wars Darth Tuba fan or just a Star Wars fan. These are some merch. This is some merch I think you would really like to get a hold of if you're really into, particularly if you love vintage collecting, vintage Star Wars figures. So we'll talk about that in a future episode. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force be with you.